my name is Tylaan. Um, I identify as male. My pronouns are he, him, his. My sexuality is it's funny. I feel like I'm on this, they say that LGBTQ like is a spectrum, so I'm like on the spectrum because I started out with the G, and now I feel like I'm at the P right now. So yeah, I'm just kind of opening myself up. So I'm at the P and the Q, so questioning. I'm just open to love and stuff. I am from Lansing, Michigan. I moved to New York December 6th, 2013. So it's just amazing to like, wow, really it's been that long? I am an artist, and under artist, I'm a recording artist. I'm a healthcare artist. I said healthcare artist because working in this field, you really had to be creative. Okay. And I'm also a fitness instructor. So yeah, I do a lot of things under health and art and music, and that just makes me who I am because I call myself a holistic spiritual gangster, So that's me, Tylaan. I tested positive in 2008. So I've been positive since then. How I look at it is I probably was infected in 2007. I didn't test positive until 2008. I remember the day I got my result. I was walking downtown Bay City, and it was raining at first. And I already knew. I didn't need them to tell me. I thought the doctor, she was kind of cold, because when she read the results off, she was like, well, it came back reactive. You're positive. She's like, well, it's just the choices that you make. Just understand that, sickness is a part of this. This is what's going to happen to you. And I'm like, this is not my story. It just, everything started to become so real in that moment. But at the same time, I was like, nah, I'm going to be straight. When I leave out of the health department, there's this rainbow when I came out. And I knew I was going to be straight. I knew I was going to be all right. At that time, you didn't, they didn't put you on medications and stuff right away. So when I, got into care, they called me a lead controller because I was undetectable. I mean, of course I had the virus, but I was undetectable for a long time, for years really. But around that time, it was more so stigma that I started to deal with family. People started to treat me a certain way because they knew. And even my family did, my mother did, my sister did. It would always be like a thing to where if someone got mad at me, well, I hope you die of AIDS. Like my sister telling me this in front of like my nephew, or my mother making comments, or like my father maybe saying something about, like everyone literally would say or do something. So it was just like, well, it was just so much easier to break away at that time. I did not know about all the services that New York had, at that time. My whole thing was to leave and I was just trying to get away from all, because I felt like I was working towards a lot, but I couldn't really do it. I couldn't grow. And then I was diagnosed with something that people made like a death sentence that time. And I'm like, I want to do so much. That's not my story. So it was easy to come here. Getting into care though here, it was different than Lansing. I wasn't just chilling, I was busy. I was trying to figure out my next move. And so someone told me about the hospice program. And so I ended up going and to HRA and getting information about that, and being set up. Then they were telling me how I can get in I could, the different services that I would need. And from there kind of started, I ended up volunteering for this organization. I don't know if it really exists now. It's called GMAD, Gay Men of African Descent. And so I was volunteering there, and during the time I was volunteering to get like that gave me more access to different things and let me learn about about Brooklyn and the community and everything, and it gave me a little bit more confidence, to actually take my health more, seriously. It's not like I didn't before, but where I came from, it was more so taboo to talk about it so openly, and so when I came there, it just made me learn how to, just face it and kind of step out of the denial. And when I started to, at that time, like I had, I had started a medication. It's Strival, and it made me sick. And but I still was on it until I still was on it for a while, and then they took me off of it. At the point, I had never been sick. I was like, I didn't want to, and so I got on another cocktail, and it was so different. I can't even tell you all. It was like 9 different medications at that time. And so that made me sick too. And then at the time too, just to add to, because I don't want to just blame it completely on the medication, but I was smoking K2. Didn't know that was a thing. I just thought synthetic weed was like, oh, this is new stuff you just buy at the store, at a bodega. Oh, what's a bodega? Like type of thing. And so combination of that and that cocktail ended up having a TIA stroke. So basically it's a stroke without the deficits. Like you don't get all the deficits, even though I did have an issue of balance for about a year. I was in a hospital here and then in a hospital in Michigan. Being in that hospital, it just was a reminder. It was like, hell no. And then at the same time, it was hearing how my family again. It was like I'm at this low moment, how everyone was acting towards me. So it just gave me ammunition to like, no, I'm going to love me. I'm going to figure out what I need to. So during that time, I couldn't really work, couldn't really do anything. So it was good that I was on the hospital program, because it got me in. I got into care, was able to have shelter, have a roof over my head. People take for granted little things every day, blinking, moving, being able to move your arms, being able to move it. Like, people take that for granted so much. And when that was about to be taken from me, I just had to do everything that I could to make sure that I was fine. Because of that medication I was on, because of what I went through, I was again off of medication. I was out of it. I was kind of scared to get back on something because of of what I went through. And so for almost 5 years, I wasn't on anything. And so when 2020 hit and the pandemic hit, I was starting to get sick. And this was the first time, like, outside of like TIA thing, I actually was starting to get sick from HIV. First it was like these aches, pains type of thing, just randomly. And then I noticed it was hard for me to like get rid of my colds or things like that. I wasn't thinking much of it because in the news you hear so much about COVID and all that, and that was the focus so much at that time. So I was just trying not to get COVID. I wasn't thinking that what I was experiencing was AIDS symptoms. So as time progressed, now the pandemic hit. Now have to stay in, and things like, again, or symptoms that everyone else was dealing with, I wasn't dealing with. I was dealing with something totally different. So my gum started to recede and bleed. And I'm like, whoa. Then I started to get these white patches in the back of my throat. And I started to get this rash. I'm coming to a realization that I'm at age status at this point, and I'm sick. COVID's going on. The world is experiencing this crazy thing. I'm away from family, but when I would try to go get into family again at this time, it was like they wished I was dead. Like the way that they act towards me. It was just another thing. It was like, if I don't fight for me, nobody else is gonna fight for me. Nobody's going to. Nobody would. And it was like, it's crazy that you get so sick. And I end up in the hospital and end up getting this staph infection that made me, my face kind of disfigure. And to see how my family acted towards me at that time and thereafter, it's like, I wonder if this is what it feels like to die and have to see what people really feel about you. I was happy that I had friends that I met through working in this field, because emotionally I was not there. I like checked out. I forgot all the steps that I would tell my clients and things over the years. I forgot it. I couldn't do it. And one of my colleagues I worked with, we hadn't worked together in probably like a year, but he was like, Ty, this is not you. And he kind of helped me figure me out again. And he was like finding the steps, and then he was praying, and he was like, you praise how you do that. So he was like, call on the Lord, call on God. I'm like, okay. So I did. Weirdest thing. Then I get this, I don't know, I think it was because I was talking to him on Facebook. Next thing I know, scrolling, I said, Callen-Lorde. I was like, that's crazy. So I was like, okay. I'm real good with messages. I'm like, no, that's a message, okay? So I end up hopping the train, because I had money. I just hopping the train, and I just came straight to Manhattan and went, and it was like, it was like, I remember I was like so emotional and stuff, and the nurse came in and he was like, he got this straight face, it just was so cool at the time, and he was like, boy, you gonna be all right. And it was like, he reminded me of that rainbow that I had when I first got diagnosed. And I was like, okay, and it was smooth sailing. And so they told me, it's gonna take you a minute to get back undetectable, because my T cells had fell below 200. That was 20 at the time. And my viral load was like in the thousands. Since I knew that was going on, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the time to study. So during that time, I started studying to be a personal trainer. I'm like, and though I was studying to train other people, it was training myself. I was learning about the body. I was learning how to like get myself, how to take care of myself. But I really had to apply it this time. And I'm like, okay, Ty, 5 years ago this happened. Now this is going on. The next 5 years, we don't want this to be like, no. So I'm like, okay, while this is working, you're taking this medication, now you gotta do more. You gotta, whatever you do, I had to learn. I say over the last 3 years that I've been with Callen, it's been different. I feel like it's been phases or something that I've been going through. I've learned how to train myself. First, I said, like, learning to, the medications, and how to stay compliant with that, along with trying to figure out different holistic things and vitamins and things that I can take along with it that won't, mess with my medication. Working on my mental and spiritual health, learning how to take care of my body with fitness, but then with how to use food as medicine. Just really training and everything like that has been my recipe of reinventing myself and learning how to just continue to advocate for myself, because I only know my body, and now I teach other people how to deal with it. And, on one end, it's like I teach people how to be preventative, but I also teach you how to deal with yourself, how to love your body, and how to just be healthy. So that's, I guess, through my own reincarnation, I'm learning to help other people, and that's what I love about all of this. I know it happened for a reason. Yeah. Today I'm undetectable. To me, it means the world today, because I feel like I stepped into the future. Like, I made it. I'm here. I made it because I know people who didn't. I know people who didn't survive what I did. I think I'm dope as hell. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm blessed and I'm dope as fuck because of the fact that I'm like, I teach this, and sometimes when I ask people, well, how would you deal if you were diagnosed with HIV, and people are like, I would kill myself, and I'm like, that is really sad, because you don't know what you don't know. And I did not know what I knew today. I knew that I was gonna be fine. That's all I knew. I just had faith that I was gonna be fine. Now, I didn't know that things, what was gonna be invented over time that was gonna help me along the way. But I'm glad I'm here. I felt blessed. I felt blessed because now I understand that I went through that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be one of them people to have these conversations to let other people know, because unfortunately, all the stigma and all that stuff still exists today. And I get to see it on a daily basis, literally. Even when I think about like things in my family or people have said, I was like, you was hating because you did not understand my resilience. Now I understand even you too. So once I got through that, I'm like, oh no, I really can understand my purpose now, and like how I can help other people through this. And again, I'm just grateful. That's it.